All right, we're back, folks. Roll again. Was it me? My turn?
It is you.
Forget. Forward 4. So 40.
Where have you been?
My goodness, we're breaking all the limits.
How do you conceal yourself while you sleep? What steps have you taken for protection? Check a skill and create a resource. Create a mortal servant character.
Oh,
Oh, that's
all right.
fitting. I think I know what skill to check.
Yeah.
Subsume of the will, right?
Yeah. Keep people placid and
Over.
mm-hmm. So
Right.
we realized we're like, okay, we need a really big, heavy stone coffin, like a sarcophagus, really.
Yeah.
Which means that we need a big place to have it, and we need people to, if there are people around, which is probably there is, since it's Constantinople, we need to keep them not reporting us. So we need a servant, because do say, he's getting.
He goes so freely. He has so many ideas.
Yeah. Don't really trust him since the whole Professor Theodoratus.
Very quiet.
Yeah. Need someone else. We need someone we can trust. A servant. Yes, a servant.
So we take over the mind of some sort of tradesman, probably.
Yeah.
One who has like access to things that we want.
Or we actually subsume Duce and reestablishes his loyalty as a resource.
We could, but I don't know
He
that
might
we
not want that anymore. Maybe start refusing taking our blood.
Maybe. I don't think so. We could, but I don't think we would trust that it would be back.
Yeah.
You know.
Hmm.
I think we make a mortal servant. I think we become more independent.
All right. I like it.
So we take over, and I like the idea of a Venetian merchant.
Yeah.
You know, and of course his name is Ambrose.
Yes, of course.
He of course, he's sniveling. I'm thinking the guy from Where the Wicked, right? He loves money, but now we have something that is more precious to him than that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a wealthy Asian tradesman.
Turns out you can buy more immortality with gold.
Yeah, I enslaved his mind. And he serves me diligently. Something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's our we live in his like trade house or whatever.
Yeah.
Access to whatever interesting people and things that we require.
As a resource, would that be the house itself, or would it just be wealth?
I think wealth is probably a good thing. We probably just call it like Ambrose's
Yeah.
gold.
Ambrose's gold.
Yeah. Our resource I can spend.
All right, cold hard cash is what we get.
Yeah. We go well as a Viking. We sort of like it.
We do.
Make ourselves an arm ring. What steps have you taken for protection? Yeah, we live in this guy's house.
Yep.
We have that. He's paying for our comforts. We sleep in a big coffin.
In his wine cellar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course.
All right. Where do we add that? Sort of living. How do we live now? Ish. Might be number 5. Might be us establishing ourselves as Count Franz.
Mm-hmm.
Is that?
I am also considering. We could move 3 to a diary, or forget it.
How we met, do say.
Because he's sort of on the way out a little bit. Oh.
I don't know. I think he's still important.
All right.
I think we keep remembering that for a while.
All right.
Halldamir is very recent. So is the Vault. I think it goes to goes here.
All right. 5 it is.
We have established ourselves.
Yes.
Basically, Constantinople is no longer a strange place. I have found servants, wealth, and knowledge here. Along, I found place, say through Ambrosius, wealth and knowledge.
Hmm.
What's the how do we feel about that? I will not make the same mistakes as I did in Germany.
Hmm. Steps taken for protection. Yeah, I mean, having him as enslaved and living in his basement certainly is a step in our. I mean, that's pivotal to our protection. Sure.
We've taken it, yeah. I think so.
Or
He watches out for us at day.
or is the
Manages repairs.
I'm considering. I'm thinking the resource is the resource more the protection. Like you actually create like a guard. You know what I mean? Like we have. Because we could have
like soldiers or something.
Yeah, we could have like a small, because we are fighters, right? We love that stuff. So instead of the Ambrose route, which I do like, but we could set us up as some sort of Red Duke. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
maybe that's a bit too much.
I don't know that. So I'm just thinking logically. I think the most useful thing for us as a traveling basically we have no income.
Yeah.
We could do like a mercenary route, but it certainly pushes us. I mean, these days to
Yeah.
fight a lot. There certainly is mercenary. I think we would. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's better here to monopolize the position.
So the thing that's making me think is what steps have you taken for your protection? We could use our skill subsume the immortal will to subsume a cadre of like a small mercenary company or like a small group of fighters. And we start training them, we start honing them, and basically set us up as a vampire knight. You know, the resource we would gain would be like our band of mercenaries or blood knights or whatever we want to call them.
All right.
More of a violent route, but
I mean, I like it.
yeah, I think our character is more of a fighter.
All right.
Than a merchant.
Sure. Then let's not have Ambrose. Let's have the guy from Way the Wicket.
Which one?
The dragon scale eye patch.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Well, he had like a German sounding name.
He was great. Oh, what was? I completely forgotten his name.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. It would be like the captain of the guard, like or the captain of the knights, right?
Yeah, so we'll call him just something German.
Right.
Let's see here. Because we're from Germany, so
Yeah.
maybe he's Swiss, you know.
Sure. A good Swiss name.
It's just, I feel like that's just German again. Let's see if it actually has a different one. Swiss name. Does. There's some French ones.
Uh,
Well, how about
Actually, when is the first crusade passing by?
the First Crusade is at the end of the century. Do you want it to be a Crusader knight we take over?
Yeah, because we are moving up now in prompts here of
Right.
this century.
Yeah, First Crusade. Who is on here? Who's in? Who's doing this?
Let's see. First crusade.
I mean, I imagine the French, right?
Probably
yes.
a lot of French, yeah.
France, Papal State, French, Italians, Germans. Yeah, French, Italians, and Germans.
All right. All right.
Let's have French knight. I feel like there's many French, like mainly a French affair.
First crusade.
Because that's all French states. So maybe we go with the like Pierre, Matthias.
We have just Tristan. That's certainly a very
Yeah. Michael.
Michael.
Yeah.
Let's go Tristan.
Yeah.
So Tristan.
Tristan.
A crusading knight. A knight of the First Crusade.
Yeah.
A knight of the First Crusade. I enslaved with promise of glory and blood. His followers now serve as my, what do you call it, like bodyguard, like the personal.
Yeah, what would we call it as a like a Norse person? Probably like Heerd.
Thanes or Heerd, yeah.
Praetorians.
Yep.
That's my third. Yeah, I think that works. Then where do you want to put the memory
Yeah.
of us acquiring? Also, I'm gonna not say First Crusade. I'll just say Crusade.
All right, fair enough.
We don't know that it's the first one yet.
That's true.
It might be the only one. It's the crusade to end all crusades.
That's true.
They're gonna capture the Holy Land, then they're done. I mean, then they did it.
Yeah.
No. There's no
I would say 4, maybe.
Yeah.
When establishing.
Do you say much power? His imprisonment. It could be. Yeah. I mean, this guy got freed, but we're trying again.
Otherwise, we need maybe to start a new one.
I still rather like the 5 one because it's like the church encroached on us, then we had to leave, and now we're like taking steps to not have that habit again.
You know what? Sure. Let's do 5.
We don't have to put it 1, but I think it makes sense.
I am into the fact I need
I have a suggestion here though. It's just the visiting army of God reminds me of how I had to leave, Germany. As like a, oh yeah,
yeah.
that was a problem.
Which makes me keen to the fact that I need proper protection.
Yeah.
And servants. And so use my power over mortal minds to bend the will of the Tristan and his cohort my service. Feel elated to have strong steel between me and my would-be enemies. Something like that?
Yeah, I think that works. Well, mine's pentacles. Yeah.
Short.
Yeah. We sleep in a nice bottom of some place where these guys stand out there, guards.
Find some old fencing school or building or something. You set up a little nightly order in there, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a French knight. He has money. He can just buy something.
Oh. All right. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
What's next?
Oh my.
Forward 8.
Forward 8.
So 48.
46, right?
We were at 40, right?
We were at 40. Yes, that's true. 48. I need to put this down before we forward. 40. 40. There we go. All right, 48. Goodness gracious. You are awakened covered in dust. Generations have passed. Your sleeping place has been sealed off. How do you escape? Lose a resource. Strike out all mortal characters.
Well, Sir Tristan, you died.
Yeah, sorry.
So did Doomsday, I guess.
Yeah. Or did he? We'll find out.
All right, so he's dead. Publius and Cassius are dead.
Yeah.
Iridates is dead, and Doomsday is dead. They're all dead.
All dead.
All right, we lose the resource. The Order of the Sanguine Rose makes sense. We lose. I mean,
yeah,
they're dead.
Or are they? Maybe they still stand guard over our tomb.
Did Doomsday run off with the relics of Alexandria?
I think he ran off with the relics of Alexandria.
So that's why we fell asleep then.
Yes.
He did something he took us out.
He did something. He put a spell, a sort of runic
or a stake, or who knows what happened.
Mm-hmm.
We find a rune stick in our mouth.
Yeah. Or he has carved sigils or something on our casket. That has kept us sleeping and then have faded with time, but it's taken generations.
Yeah, I like that. Let's have Deuce's betrayal. We deserve it. So
yep.
Let's delete our wonderful relics. I mean, who knows? Maybe Halvard knows a thing or two. Maybe. But the Order is still here.
Yes.
Outside of our tomb, the Eternal Vigil.
It has built like one of these like old classic mausoleums or something around it.
So basically, we were at the end of a century.
Yes.
We were probably just entering the 12th century. So we jumped to the 13th century.
At least, yes.
At least, yeah. So what awakens us? What event is it that wakes us up? I like the idea that we're being...
It will be the sacking. If we just enter the 11th and the sacking happens at 1204, it could be the sacking of Constantinople.
Yeah, but generations have passed. I feel like,
even longer.
We were at the first generation. We were just now was the first.
Yeah.
The sacking is. Yeah, you're right. It could be. It could be the sacking. Yeah.
Because that would really shake up things.
Mm-hmm. Like I feel like noise and like
people break open
engines and whatnot are happening.
People a stray shot from a catapult hits our, the mausoleum and cracks open the coffin and breaks the
It
spell.
makes us roll to our side, and the rune stick falls out.
Yes.
We're like,
What?
"Ooh, damn!" Find out we have been tapped, and there's all right. Okay,
Right?
this seems like a big deal.
Yes, I would say so for sure.
Uh, how do we? Is this? I mean, I feel like this is a new memory sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
Gain Helmers blood.
And I also add a new category for prompts, 13th century.
Yeah. In my peoples. Interesting. Returned home. Let's do same. Yeah. I feel like maybe we can let go of 3
Okay.
in the diary.
Yeah.
And again, yeah, well,
Yeah.
'cause it's like he came back, but do we really like? It's like remembering that he was a thrall. Now we're like, do we remember? I feel like we would write it down because it's like, yeah, he matters to us.
Yeah.
I don't know if we go thinking about how he had survived all those years. I feel like it's been long enough that we're like, yeah, I mean, Tuesday's just around. He's
I
a guy
agree.
who speaks the language of Romans. We still remember him as a professor and how,
I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
I convinced you. Then we can
Yeah.
use number 3 here. So we will put it in a diary though. It's one of our diary still has plenty of room. We've not been abusing that. So
No, we were
if we lose
pretty
it, we're really gonna lose a lot.
pretty judicious in what we kept in the diary this time, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's what our character would write down
Mm-hmm.
and then stop thinking about it.
Gosh. A crash wakens us from our
Me,
yes, century
I,
long torpor.
yeah.
And I discover that generations have passed. Covered in dust, I gather still loyal and by like blood curse bound knights to my side.
Past and another army. God
Search for
burning.
Dusay, but he is long gone. My relics. Betrayal. That's
Now we don't actually know that he did it. It could be somebody else who did it. But we don't know what happened. And the knights here, like, they haven't seen us ever.
no. They thought they guarded it like they only heard it was like a sleeper inside, like there's a great power sleeping in the old mausoleum. It must be guarded, yes. And then, our presence and our dreams and whatever has kept these people sort of like not as powerful necessarily as drinking our blood, but we did use our prodigious domination skill on Sir Tristram and his knights, and that has carried over the generations. Like they have passed this trait on to their children. So
I mean, at least
everyone,
now they speak Greek, so
yeah,
that's helpful. We didn't have to worry about them all being French, which we don't speak either. All right. Yeah, we're awakened. It is a whole new time. Everything's being burnt by mad crusaders. So that's great.
So that's good. All right.
Nice. That's fortunate, you could
Hmm.
say. But you know what? Surely that's the worst thing that's going to happen.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna be just screaming gravy from here.
From here on, as I look at, say, that Count Baldwin declares himself Latin Emperor of Constantinople, things are going to be great.
Hmm.
Ah,
Surely a new golden age awaits us.
we should be that. Let's see what happens.
It's my turn.
Yep.
All right.
Oh boy. All right.
Forward 5.
We're 5.
This is
3.
distressing.
Well,
53.
a mortal character you trusted, one of their descendants, leads a hunting party. What shared secrets are being used against you? Check a skill.
Juicy!
Coming for us.
He is coming for us.
Why do we lose his loyalty? We're so powerful.
It was. Oh.
Oh, all right. Well, we lose a skill. We lose our famous host skill. So somehow we address this hunting party with a party.
Well, we could. So Duce returns. I agree. Like that has to be the thing here.
Yeah,
Like the
right.
descendant of Duce returns. I am
No, it says
son of.
all one of their descendants.
I am son of Duce.
Yeah.
You
kept my father as a thrall. Prepare to die. All right.
Yeah. So son of Duce returns. He leads a hunting party. Wash the curse clean from his father's line or something. Or maybe he's after more secrets. Who knows? Maybe Duce brought up an even greedier son who wants even more
They have a
secrets.
son? Like the Duce, I imagine. I don't think.
Well, it's his descendants. Or do you mean this is Duce himself showing up somehow?
Well, I mean, it could be. He's lived from our blood for so long and he's decided that he doesn't, like, why would he ask for it when he can take it?
I would say okay, but I would also point out that Duce is not immortal in our...
It's true.
So he should be dead.
So his descendant is like, I don't know, is that like a child he had or more like a...
I would say child. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Did he find redemption in the end? Like,
maybe he did.
Or is this a light side or dark side sort of people?
I honestly think it's a dark side.
They could be like blood hunters or something like,
I think he Duce, died old and frail, starved from our blood, but with the secret relics of Alexandria, giving him, a sorcerer's powers or whatever. And it taught that to his son and told him, son, the power flows in the blood. There is great power in the old things.
Alexander, didn't he?
Yeah, sure.
Alexander, child of Duce.
Yeah.
Well,
if you can,
child, like grandchild.
if you can tap into secrets of the blood, you can become immortal yourself. And so he comes, I think he comes seeking us to he believes he can cut our head off or impale our heart or whatever to get our potent blood from us. Now, having said that,
plus 40 mortality.
Yep. Having said that, stopping him with our famous host characteristic, I would interpret as, after we awaken, we reestablish ourselves. We still are a good host. We can still throw a gosh darn good party. Thus, we ingratiate ourselves enough to the Crusaders, or whoever is in the neighborhood at the moment.
Well, the Latin Emperor, I guess.
The Latin Emperor, yep.
The state of the new Latin Empire.
Yeah, no, he is old.
Recently arrived from Flanders. We've been to Flanders.
Yeah, we've been to Flanders, a countryman.
Far from home. The old monastery.
Yeah.
Like, you mean the perfectly repaired monastery? Yes, that one. Yes.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, a countryman, a someone we can connect to, and we can fet at our creepy mansion, or at least we can throw a good party
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, and then we use
him.
them to protect us.
Yes, to protect us, to stop this hunting party. Basically, my good friend Latin Emperor. There's a band of
Baldwin.
ruffians. Baldwin.
My good Count Baldwin.
Yes.
Emperor Baldwin.
Emperor Baldwin. This is band of ruffians really has caused me some small trouble. If you could just help me take care of this problem, I'd be much obliged. And then we just burn like our last capital, just throwing the mother of all parties. And he's like, yeah, no, you've shown me such a good time. But I will do this for you. You bought me all the prostitutes I ever needed. Or we cater to his very weird fetishes in some way.
Baldwin the First, Latin Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
What does history have to say about you? Build a tower in Bulgaria. So that's nice.
Oh.
He was offered. He first. He took the crown after the Venetians said no. The most probable choice. Young, gallant, pious, and virtuous.
Wow.
Strictly observed his crusading vows.
Wow.
Or so they say.
You're right.
All right. Oh, he never told his wife.
Mm-hmm.
His wife, having not been informed of his arrival to the throne, had sailed to the Holy Land.
Oh.
Where she learned eventually learned of her husband's election as emperor, but died before she could get there.
Oh no!
So he never told her.
Wow.
Mm.
Pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is definitely adding to memory 4, though. Alexander, son of Duce, returns. My the main seeking my power and immortality, seeking to take my power immortality. His hunting party. Little does he know that I have petted His Imperial Highness. What was his name?
Baldwin the First.
Baldwin.
Such a stupid name.
Baldwin the First. And my excellent catering to his special needs allows me to call upon him to waylay group and destroy them. Doesn't say that Alexander necessarily is gone, but the group is destroyed.
Legal.
It cost me the last of my fortune, but one cannot spend enough on one's own safety.
So I will say this guy only reigns for a year.
Yeah. It's very fortuitous. If it was that year.
Promptly captured and killed by somewhere in Bulgaria.
All right, then.
That's great, and his brother Henry follows, will rule for 10 years.
All right. I like His Imperial Highness Baldwin the First.
Yeah, he served us well.
I did.
Apparently, the next guy Henry is known for his mistresses.
Wow.
So, also fortuitous. Maybe we sent this holy
Oh.
crusader out to die. Maybe
Oh.
we're
Maybe we're like, hey,
all
I
right.
ask a bit too many questions here. Maybe need to go to Bulgaria for a swing.
Taking my mortality. Let us know that the Imperial Highness Baldwin and I. Excellent. Waylay the group and destroy. Yeah. All right. Good. Good. Now we need some more skills.
Yeah.
Now we're out.
Now we are out.
If we're asked to take another one, we have to lose our diary with everything we know about ourselves, or the Order of Sanguine Rose in terrible defeat. So let me roll and see where this takes us.
Oh boy, it's getting dangerous now, for real. Been here before. Oh.
The same one.
Oh. Oh.
Well, yeah.
You have a troublemaking character at your mercy. Record an experience of forgiveness. I guess we capture Alexander, Child of Duce.
Yeah. That's certainly the only one we have. And we forgive them.
Yeah.
Because it's only natural to do what they did, I suppose.
We are a magnanimous god. We see something about Duce.
We can understand. We can understand why they were doing what they did.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think it's like we're sentimental. I think it's more like we have that Vikings and warrior spirit. They're a strong warrior.
Sure.
Of course, they should try to claim what they desire.
Sure. Respect the ambition.
Yeah, they failed, but that's okay. They they will get another chance to.
I mean,
earn this.
You can't hit a target if you don't shoot, right?
Yeah. Good job, son. But there's another one. Go fight Halldamir. He's not as good as my younger brother, Hal. All right. No, I thought that would go. I mean, I suppose that's just the. This one here is long.
Yes.
Cleus and Cassius.
We're not very good at keeping this to just one sentence.
He's hurt, but quiet in the following days. No, this one is done. Is the thing. 4 here. This memory is done.
It's done. Yeah.
So this would have to be a continuation of another one or a beginning of a new thing. And I think I can have. Yeah, I think we can put it here as something like this, through my allies, or like you allies, I capture Alexander. His fight was worthy of me, and I can respect him for it. With him at my mercy, I feel power. I offer him a life in return for knowledge of the new world wherein I have awaked. We need his perspective.
Yeah.
What has happened? What's going on?
Who are these people?
Yeah. Why Latin Empire? Why is this a thing now? Why French? Was it my knights? Did they do this? You know,
Look over
yeah,
them.
he you know, he's captured
Yep.
by the events that happen here. The emperor's people throw him in chains before us.
Hmm.
We get to be like, Alexander, you know. We can just, "Oh,
I am a generous
child,
god.
child, child."
All right, I like that.
All right. Well, that certainly didn't hurt us much. So, let's see what
Ah,
happens next.
oh my. All right. Go. Forward 2.
It's 55.
5. Time.
Timeless introspection becomes manifest in creative acts. Choose a creative skill based on a lost memory.
Okay.
We're looking back and thinking, but we don't know where it comes from, except that we feel
So we
the
get
urge to make something.
creative skill based on the lost memory. Interesting.
So we have feasting during the whole. Oh, Adelstein mocks us in song. Make
Yeah.
make a song about a stupid Adelstein.
Alice the Stupid.
There are children's poems about a raid that gone wrong, stricken on a ship, we're sick. That doesn't feel particularly, unless it's like depressed paintings of sailing.
It could be really disturbing.
We're haunted
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
like the sick bodies. You've seen those Renaissance paintings, they
Oh
called like
yeah.
like the sin of Gomorrah or something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like just like these dying, terrible looking people. The Jarlsmen searched for Duce. No, it wouldn't be Duce. I don't think.
It could be Hjalmar.
Yeah, we paint Hjalmar. We just have these longing pictures of a
This
Viking
incredibly heroic like painting of Hjalmar.
playing metal.
It's like 4 x 4 meters. Like takes up that entire
Well, it
like.
could be, but I think it's not that we remember, right? It's that somehow we find inspiration in ruminating upon our past,
Yes, and we
like in
get
trying to look back and see what we find.
and we
I
get a
think it's more of a feeling.
and we get a creative skill from it though. So like
Yeah.
painting poems, something
Mhm.
like that.
I like the idea of painting.
Painting. All right.
I know
I
it's not
mean,
very Norse or anything, but it certainly is in this
we
period.
we can we can certainly paint. What would be the most important thing of what we have forgotten to paint? I I think I think Hjalmar like setting out on the journey, like the feast hall, right? The naming of the axe, like all of these like early things that set us on this path seems relevant to me. And painting sort of these like large like murals and stuff that like has a whole story on it as you go along.
Well, we wouldn't remember the story.
It's true.
We would just. I'm thinking. So bear with different thing, right?
Oh,
Go back far enough. What do we find when we sort of just ruminate upon our we have forgotten so much?
yeah.
Uh, Imagine like we paint a painting, and it's basically like the Mona Lisa, right? It's a drawing of that girl we used to like,
Oh,
but we have no memory of who it is or
so
like what they look like.
she
It's just
has a
like
mysterious smile and
yeah, it's a mysterious face. We
mhm.
like nobody knows who it is because it's a person that doesn't
All
like we
right.
get like we just it just comes to us.
It is fair Gunda then.
And maybe even Hjalmar is another person. Like we have this collection of faces
Yeah.
that do not that are not people.
I call it the gallery of faces. All of these people,
They all have these expressions.
ephemeral, evanescent, like dreams.
What do you think of that?
I like it.
In the place we sleep, a coffin, there's a
Yeah, it's like these portraits.
skill. So what do we call that? Like portraitry?
Uh, uh,
Portrait?
haunting, like painting of the lost. Painting. Haunting, haunting paintings or like striking paintings, something because
Haunting portraits.
big portraits.
Haunted portrait painting, I guess. There's a skill.
Yeah.
of the actual portraits that I was.
So
Just
next
like
thing that we're gonna check a skill, we're gonna solve it by a haunting portrait painting.
Yeah.
It is
By
somehow
painting.
so
Guy comes
you
with
think you have
painting.
me cornered, but look here first, and then you unveil
I
the
will paint
painting.
you a painting and deal with it. It is the most boring duel with the devil.
That we like they have found us in a corner. We have one painting left, and we unmask it, and it's just I have painted the end of everything,
It
and
is you, and he's like, "Oh my!"
it is so haunting. Oh, breaks his mind.
The ancient relics. I feel like we can put. Can we put one here in the diary?
Yeah,
The vault. I don't think we're
sure.
gonna. I mean, the relics are gone.
They're gone.
We remember the thing about Halvard being a younger brother, but I feel like that's also like he's not around right now.
Yeah, he's somewhere else at the moment. Who
Put that in
knows?
there.
They haven't really
Put that.
tapped into
It's like
that recently.
we'll write that down.
Yeah, I'll just put this in.
It seems relevant to know. It's like the diary's made to feel of our mythical origins.
It is our myths. Yeah.
All right. So this would be a new one. In the long because we don't need to sleep, right? So in the long hours of the day during the long hours of day I must spend on the ground. I search my mind for memories long lost. I paint what I find, and soon well, no, after years, I finally develop the skill
To
recreate
the capture.
yeah,
Yep.
dwells
Capture.
my.
Yeah.
We're like train.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we need to just get it out somehow. How do you get something out of your mind? Well, painting it sure works.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think that works.
All right.
All right, good. Then let's roll the dice again.
All right. You need to stop doing this. Oh.
It's the same one, yeah. You dedicate yourself to an art, lose a resource, or gain back a lost memory. Oh,
Hmm.
wait, a resource though.
A resource is lost.
So that's the order or it's the diary.
Do we burn the diary to imprint something from it back in?
Well, we haven't lost what's
That's
in the
true.
diary.
It's true.
It'll be one of the things we've crossed out we can get back.
That means
I think
something.
maybe we neglect the knights. I don't know.
The knights get neglected.
Yeah. And so they go do their own thing. I mean, it's a pretty tumultuous time.
Maybe.
I mean, I'd like to keep them, but
If we are dedicated to an art, it certainly seems reasonable that the knights would leave.
yeah.
Or get lost somehow.
What will we regain even?
That's the thing. Most of the memories we have removed hasn't been like a difficult memory to remove so far. So none of these are very appetizing to get back. But if we are to get something back, I suppose the memory regarding like our former friends and people we knew would be the most.
would be this one, right?
Yeah, it would be that one, I suppose.
The cattle raid.
Would need to place something up here, so...
I would forget for this old knowledge. And what does it mean to us is the thing, right? We managed to get something back we didn't know about ourselves.
I think memory 4 would be the one we cross out for this then. Due as much power over me, his imprisonment, and we take the professor, he's rescued. And then we...
What's our memory 5? What's in the diary, you think? No. Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much better master. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I figure we still write this down, right?
Sure.
Take it in the diary. Yeah, put it in the diary.
All right. To the diary it goes. Now the diary is full, I believe. Would direct. Rank through. No. Okay. So the whole raid, whole like friendship with Hjalmar, all of this comes back, and we
The armoring of gold, the sense of pride we felt.
Yeah. Just sort of.
I remember the striking of the ship.
Mhm.
Curse, fire.
All embodied in a fantastical piece of art.
Being burned. And have regained my strength and will lose my home. Chill stings me, but I forgive him. We don't remember that we end up killing him.
No, that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Probably for the best.
I think this might reignite some like Viking pride.
Yeah.
We remember we aren't this German person. We know the diary says it. And read the diary. It says to be a Ragnar Björn, but
now we feel it.
Feels like we are.
It's like just reawakened with it. Oh.
Paintings, drawings. We look into their soulful eyes.
Yes.
Now we understand Hjalmar's like his expression.
Mm-hmm. We understood what he meant to say but couldn't. We weep dark tears of blood in our lonely basement.
Actually, that's totally wrong. We also remember draining his blood. It's the beginning of memory 2 here.
Sure.
Absolutely remember that. That's what gave us the taste for finer things. Maybe now when we think of that, we also feel a little sad.
Maybe feel a bit guilty about that whole affair. A little bit.
That's why the eyes of Hjalmar in the painting were so soulful.
Yes.
Because really.
Oh, and the knights, well, they get swept up in the hustle and bustle of the...
About
Yeah.
It's basically
of the war.
There's probably they fought against those hunters and there was a whole thing.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I mean, some years passed here, right? So now we're under a different ruler. We're all under Henry.
Seems
of Flanders instead.
This seems to indicate that several years pass, if not decades.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to enter. Yeah, so we create best. Yeah, skill based on lost memory. So yeah, I guess so. All right. Well, let's see what happens next then.
Roll it.
5 and a 2, so we go forward 3.
58. Society has changed. How has travel become easier for you? Recover any stationary resources for which you still have a memory.
Mhm.
They're re-added to the resource.
Oh
Don't think
no!
we have
What a
any
curveball!
stationary resources. Let's see
Is it the
here.
banneret of Laufen?
Oh, shall we go home?
Oh, was
Do
it?
we still have a memory about that?
Uh,
During the long hours spent on ground? No. Drink Callous blood haste. Does that taste human? The hag. Not sustained changes me as well. No. Awakens me? No.
we do. We do have 5.
Encroach upon me in their domain. That is about that, yeah.
That's it then.
How does travel become easier for us?
Return home.
What happens in this century? I guess the Latin Empire, the Venetian trade and such is big in
Yes,
this
true.
time.
It's true. The Venetian trade starts to really get into swing of things.
Mhm.
And trade routes, more trade routes being established. The Crusades themselves, that's a lot of just travel
Yeah.
being facilitated, lots of
That's a
ships
lot of
going back and forth.
confusion. We come home from Crusade.
There you go. Perfect.
The Crusade makes it easier. All right.
We have
So,
returned, my loyal subjects, and no one remembers us because it's been 200 years.
but that's okay.
We are the son, the great grandson of the late lord
He
who.
went on the first crusade, and he's been there ever since. But now descendants come home to claim the heritage.
Yes, he's a bit of an oddball, but they say he's a very good artist. A
He makes
sensitive
such
soul.
weird, haunting paintings that surely will come up again.
Hmm.
What do we do with this?
Astral become easier for you. Yeah, that's definitely the.
Maybe it's part of this memory thing, right? Maybe
Yeah,
it's like, um, I remember the home I once had
yeah.
in Lauf,
A stately manner.
and uh, as many German knights have passed by, I find a strange need to return. The people there do not remember me, but my name is in the annals, and they cannot deny uh, my claim.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably more to that story, right? There's a situation
This
behind
is
stuff.
monumental. We just our haunting paintings remind us of the Crusades. It's just
Past, like we're looking back.
yes.
We now have a banneret again, though it doesn't say that we necessarily stay there. You might well go back to back and forth. At least for now. Though given what's about to happen in Constantinople, maybe we're not a great time for the city. And Ducey was the one who brought us there anyway.
True, it's true. Deuce is gone, and
Do we go back to living in Germany?
I think so. This seems to
Yeah.
implicate that we return.
We do then. Yeah, go back.
See the old musty, dusty manor, long abandoned, believed cursed by superstition and tradition.
This was Ducey's room.
I can still smell him.
Yeah, we haven't become that degenerate yet, but we'll see.
We're pretty stately, all things considered. Still clinging to our our dignity here. We're certainly not a crazy rat vampire in a cave.
Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah, well, exactly.
It could easily. Backwards 1, so 57.
I just need to enter a few. Uh, 57. Your knowledge of old things become a strength. Based on a checked skill, what knowledge do you share with contemporary mortals? Check a skill. Create a resource.
All right, so that fits the whole memory lane thing we're doing.
Yeah.
So use a checked skill to create a resource.
Checked skill. Let's take a
Famous
look.
host, subsume the will, hack and slash. Shoot is bloodthirsty, blooded from battle. Bestial blood. What do we share with people? Probably not our bestial blood. Maybe some fighting skill. I mean, like we train them? I don't know. I mean,
Re-establishing the Order of the Sanguine Rose, but like in
yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's basically both like all these ones.
yeah.
Yeah. I think we could do that.
Yeah. Let's do that then.
Um
Do we use, is it subsume the mortal will? Like, do we return and just start enthralling the entire village?
no, we share a skill with contemporary mortal.
What knowledge do we share? Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
knowledge.
yeah,
Yeah, sure. So
tell them about stuff.
yeah,
Probably stuff about the blood in like a slightly like, we're like, oh yes, the blood of the saints or something.
blood of the saints. Drink this wine. It is my blood. Like a communion. That's blood.
Yeah,
Blood
yeah.
vampirism right there.
So we call it like Night of the something communion.
Oh yes, Knights of
Sanguine.
the Knights of the Black Communion.
Yeah, something like that. It's all we have lots of like Teutonic knights and such wearing all black. It's the fashion of the time.
The Black Grail.
Yeah. Yeah, we establish another order. Cool.
Knights of the Black Communion.
I mean, we could put this in the same one as us returning. No, we shouldn't. That's not about. Is it about memory? Yeah, I think it is. I remember the knights and how they kept me safe for a century. Knights Sanguine Rose.
Mm-hmm.
I uh I I teach my subjects how to serve me through both blood and skill of arms. And they learn enthusiasm.
Okay.
Something like that.
Something like that. Looks good.
All right. We reestablish a knight order. We have banneret.
Back to the banneret of Laufen.
We are a knight. We
Yeah.
have a group of household knights.
Yep. Knights of the Black Communion.
All right, yeah.
All right, well. Roll away, I guess.
Do it.
Was it you or me?
It's you.
Okay.
See down the chat there who
Oh. Forward 7.
All right, that puts us to 64. Vast numbers of humans are migrating around the world. What group becomes easy to feed upon? How do you capitalize on their helplessness? Create a resource. So this might also be we can move ahead in time a little bit here too, I think.
Yes, I think so.
So migrations around this time. What group of humans are moving about a lot?
That's true. I mean, here.
Crusades are ended now. Like we know that.
Yeah. They're over and they're in
done.
terrible failure.
It could be. Oh no, that's a bit too early, I guess. Could it be refugees from like
Could be.
from the Latin Empire? I mean, after the Fourth Crusade, it certainly doesn't go well over there, but it still takes like 200 years for things to really go down.
We would, let's see here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, we are 6 with some implied time skips here. We could certainly be in the 14th century by now. If that helps.
Yeah. What happens in the 14th century?
What happens in the 14th century?
I don't. I mean, we've moved. Like, it's not like a lot of these people are going to come up again anyway. So,
Oh no.
we have Alexander, grandchild Duze. I think he can die. That's fine.
We have
14th century.
We have the Tamerlane, the Conqueror.
Witnessed the death of 45 million people from political and natural disasters in both Europe and the Mongol Empire. The Black Death
Oh yes,
wiped out a third of the European population. Well, that's a big deal.
that is a big deal.
While the 100 Years' War is happening in England and France.
There's the Great Famine of 1315 to 1317.
All
Kills
right,
millions
where?
in Europe. Entire Europe. It's just incredible famine.
I mean, refugees is the obvious sort of, answer then. It's also the height of chivalry. So this is a great time to be a knight. And the beginning of the Italian Renaissance.
Well, since we're in southern Germany, the 100 Years' War is certainly
adjacent.
It's adjacent. The starvation and Great Famine would certainly affect everyone and probably make refugees a thing. Or you would be like, oh yes, please.
We need to feed our knights.
Yes, yes.
What group becomes easy to feed upon? I mean, that is the weak.
Yeah, from the famine and the plagues, and the plague is in the middle of the 1300s here.
Yeah, so we should have it be the famine, right? Because I'm sure the plague will come. Will come.
I think the famine, the Great Famine, would be pretty good. There's also in 1305 to 1314. There's the trials of the Knight Templar in France. The last Grand Master of the Templars, Jacques de Molay, is executed 1314.
And then a giant famine comes all over Europe.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
I think not.
And then Black Plague, people.
Yeah.
Do you see? It's not a good century.
I'm just asking the questions.
I'm just saying, if I had to go to a century, it wouldn't be this one.
Yeah. No, it's a bad century.
Like, you got to live for this, and it's like, shit. I guess apparently if you live in Mali, it's great because of all the gold. But that's pretty much good for the king. All right. Yeah, let's say we've jumped to the next century. If you record that down there, I will kill off Alexander. Go. And do you think I mean, a resource, we certainly could become like a refuge for the Templars. Enjoy drinking their blood, and the resource could just be their stuff, or like
Templar treasures.
Templar, yeah.
And Templar treasures, we could. It is in Paris, so it's kind of far away. We haven't really engaged much with the Templars.
We haven't, no.
No,
it would come out of left field. I think maybe the most fair thing is the refugees of the Great Famine. I mean, it's lots of people moving about having no food. Easy to hunt upon. It's not the kind of people we want to feed on, but there's just so many of them.
Great Famine started with bad weather in the spring of 1315. Crop failures lasted through 1316 until the summer harvest of 1317. Europe did not fully recover until 1322. Crop failures were not the only problem. Cattle disease caused sheep and cattle numbers to fall as much as 80%. The period was marked by extreme levels of crime, disease, mass death, cannibalism, and infanticide. The crisis had consequences for the church, state, European society, and for future calamities to follow in the 14th century.
Man, that must really have sucked, right? Just
Worst.
80% less food, which means that 8 out of 10 people are gonna be starving,
Yep.
eating each other and eating babies and whatever else.
Yep.
Uh, that's pretty terrible. How do we capitalize on that?
We can capitalize. I mean, we are a banneret. We have peasants. We
We don't
have
need food.
things. We can sell food at very high prices, for example.
I mean, we don't need food really
No, we
ourselves
don't, but
either.
others do, and we can use that to.
But they don't have money, figure. These
Mm,
refugees and our own people would be suffering too, right? We wouldn't have a great harvest. We wouldn't have more food just being who we
are
are.
we cooking the refugees to serve to our serfs?
No, I was thinking if you could do like a cool thing, like maybe we have all this blood science we've done before. Maybe
Yes.
make like black wheat or something like that, like a
Yeah, and we use the refugees to sow the fields.
yeah.
Yes, yes. There is a small banneret in southern Germany where it is said the fields are full of wheat.
Mhm. It is black and grows at night rather than
Yes,
day, but it is food.
under the pale
Surely better
light,
than eating literal children, you know?
under the pale light of the moon, strange creatures, huddled servants and hunchbacks can be seen ploughing the fields, chanting strange incantations.
So what would the resource be?
Pull in like Mother Matilda and this. I almost feel like use your weird night hag skills to sow the fields. I don't know. Let's see here. What would be the resource? Well,
Would it be the fields or would it be the people we acquire for it? It could just be I mean, it could just be, like, abundant people. We have a lot of them compared to other people.
true. I would add some descriptor to them to just make it's not just a lot of normal
So, like
people.
so, like, I mean, it could be like, lives aplenty.
Mm.
Like, depends on, like, what are we
Because I
what do
think
you
if we use our weird blood powers to create the black wheat that grows in moonlight, and they eat it, I mean, they survive, but maybe they get a bit malformed and weird themselves. Maybe they take on some of our attributes, like sensitive to sunlight, like, you know what I mean? So we could have a people, but more of a.
like a weird hunchback sort
Yeah,
of
I'm thinking like, Hamlet in Sylvania, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like children that are born with like a third
Call it
leg or.
call it, not a cursed populace.
Yeah, cursed populace.
A resource to cursed people, they're more loyal to us. They're
Yeah.
not gonna take torches and
And the wheat
yeah,
tastes so sweet.
yeah, it is they say if you make it into meal, it is
Yes.
strangely white and red. So it's
There's
strange.
an old mill that grinds it all
Old
into.
bone grinder, where
Yes.
Mother Matilda and her hack
Yes.
friend were.
Yes. Old bone grinder.
Um, all right. Uh, yeah. Yeah, we capitalize.
Yeah.
We grow powerful in this time because we do not have the weaknesses. Encroaching my domain. So what would we put this? Long torpor. I think we put it on 3
Here.
because it's about
3.
establishing ourselves, right?
Yeah. Rolling crashing. Yeah.
Essential.
Yeah.
So having returned to Laufen, I find that hunger has stricken the world. I feed my fields, my cursed blood, and the peasants grow fat and
Dependent.
dependent. So does that encapsulate it? Or maybe,
Yeah, because they are helpless, right? That there is what can they eat? They
And
can
their
only
blood is plenty. It's also that they're easy to feed.
yes. Yes. Okay.
Not like we like peasant blood, but you know,
Very interesting.
yeah. All right.
All right, before we do the next roll, I need another break.
Mhm.
All right, folks. See you next time.